After all, without joy and laughter to balance the sorrow, this world cannot hope to have a bright future.
Hello everybody, Megazord X here, and I'm back at it again to give you all another episode of My Hero Academia. Usually, when you're done beating the grand finale boss and say, you know what, I managed to beat the boss, I reign triumphantly, I have all this justice behind me, and I turn the dude in, I save lives and everything, all's well that ends well. But that was certainly not the case with this episode. As we got to see throughout this episode, in order for them to save Eri, it cost a lot of people a lot of pain and suffering, and some even lives. And gosh darn, this episode definitely managed to hit you within the feels department, because I almost got to that point or where I was nearly shook, and not that many animes can actually manage to shake me while I'm watching it. It's the really good ones that did, but this one, for this one look, and I have been shook while watching My Hero Academia through past episodes though, but this one, oh gosh, this one almost got me again though. But I was definitely sad and just, you know, kind of devastated during one part of this one episode, which I'll talk about and elaborate more throughout this review though. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight up into this episode review of My Hero Academia. So starting off at the very beginning of the episode, Corona was trying to finish off Overhaul's plan, but thankfully Amajiki showed up and stopped him from finishing off Eraserhead, because you know this was like in the underground a little bit, while Izuku and Overhaul were kind of fighting above ground though, and Corona was like, well shoot, you know what, if Overhaul doesn't manage to make it out of the situation or whatever though, I'm going to have to carry the plan out for him though. So he was basically going to take the drugs with him, those drug bullets, take those with him, run off and try to live to see another day or whatever though. But it was thanks to Amajiki actually showing up that he was able to rescue Eraserhead just in the nick of time, and basically pin down Corona and say, you know what, the jig is up, you're caught now, there ain't nothing else that you can really do. But once everything looked good and well, from the battle that basically concluded between Izuku and Overhaul, all's well that looked like it seemed well though. But then Aries Court just went into a complete state of overdrive, and it just started blowing up, and Izuku was just down on his knees and everything though, and he was just trying to just trying to hold his body together or whatnot though, because Eri was basically going through and trying to reverse the time back up on him or whatever though, and it was almost too much for him to bear though. But thank goodness Amajiki saved saved Eraserhead during that moment, because Eraserhead was back up on ground level though, and he was able to use his quirk to be able to shut Eri down. And now the fact of the matter that Eri has this much untapped power within her, like she can be almost like a ticking time bomb. Like who knows what she can really do with that quirk, and she actually starts to be able to use it to its full extent and to its full power. Although it is interesting that she can only kind of use her quirk on actual people though. That's the one thing that you have to sit down and think about though. So it'd be kind of hard for her to sort of kind of train her quirk or whatever though. But it is a really interesting quirk and a very unique one nonetheless though. But then we get to see several different scenes after the conclusion of the battle, with the police all trying to come in here and trying to arrest the certain people that were resisting against them, as well as the ambulance all coming up in here to take out some of the heroes, as well as some of the other officers that might have gotten hurt during the battles, and trying to get them healed, recover, or trying to ship them out and try to send them next to the nearest hospital, because man, we got to see a lot of people banged up from this. And you know, to think that all of this happened like early in the morning, and it was only like a couple or a few hours this whole entire this event took place though. But dang, it was crazy in the aftermath though. Oh gosh, yeah, a lot of lives might have been lost. A lot of people had sacrificed their bodies up in terms of, you know, taking some fatal hits to them and just getting really banged up and stuff. It was ooh, gosh, man, when you sit back and think about this, man, this was a rough arc, and I mean a rough arc in terms of, you know, casualties and, you know, everything else that people took though. But pretty much after that, that was essentially the conclusion of the rescue team. So thankfully, even though they managed to pull it off, however, you know, they managed to lose some lives and, you know, a lot of people endure some suffering. They did manage to rescue Eri. So the rescue team was a success and it was completed. Now, however, it doesn't end right there though. Because when you think you're out of the clear and you think, you know what, this arc should be all good and well and done with though. No. Remember Toga with her little plan that she was kind of devising earlier back a few episodes ago? Yeah, now she started to put her plans into motion though. Because she basically kind of gave Shigaraki a hint that basically where they were able to transport Overhaul to a different hospital for them to, you know, basically kind of heal him up a little bit, but, you know, obviously hold him in questioning and, you know, try to get as many answers out of him. And obviously he was going to be in jail for, you know, the rest of his life or for a long sentence or whatever though. However, Shigaraki had different plans for him because they were driving right in front of the escort vehicle that was relocating Overhaul. And then it was like, oh shoot, we got Shigaraki and the whole clan there. And, you know, he was thanking Toga for giving him the tips or whatever though. And this was the real thing that they were devising though. So now with Overhaul out of the way, which was, if you think about it, a chess match though, he was basically the king. You know what? Hey, he pulled the big piece away, and now he could be able to reap the rewards that everything that Overhaul has done up to this moment though. So basically, you know, Shigaraki, you know, makes the attack or whatever though, and he quickly deals with the one hero that was basically trying to assist with the transport though. It was like a dude that kind of had some like sand kind of powers though, and, you know, but unfortunately he was overwhelmed because it was only one dude against like four of them or whatever though, and unfortunately he got his hand handed to him though. And, you know, Shigaraki came rolling up. He laid Overhaul out on that ground like that, and he was like, you know what? I really hate you, man. I really hate you. Like, this dude, you know, you took one of my men, you took the other guy's arm. No, you about to suffer right now. And he took a couple of cases of the bullets that Overhaul managed to manufacture. And he said, you know what? We're going to take custody of these now. So, yeah, we're sticking those in our pocket. Not only that, you ain't getting off the hook. They took one of the dude's arms off to help replace it with the other dude that basically lost his arm. And not only that, but Shigaraki also used his quirk on him to basically kind of break down his arm and then cut off another piece of his arm, because now, you know, the dude's basically quirkless or whatever though, so he can't really heal himself right now. And now this is like one of the first true times that, you know, Overhaul is really going to be sensing a lot of pain within himself though. But they basically just left the man there because, you know, other reinforcements were about to come though. But he said, you know what, we're done with you now. We got what we needed. In the end, it was us that managed to come out on top though. And that was pretty much it in terms of that quick little attack from the League of Villains though. And then we get to see a scene where we get to see, you know, Izuku in the hospital. He was recovering up or whatnot though, and, you know, thankfully for the most part his body was all right. It was just a little spot on his arm or whatever though. But thankfully Eraserhead manages to come up into the scene, and he was like, and Izuku was like, hey, how's everybody else doing? Because, you know, Izuku really cares about all the friends and all the different people that he knows, and he cares more about them than rather to state that what he could have been potentially in though. But thankfully Eraserhead was able to kind of fill him in on, you know, the status of everybody else. So Kirishima was basically bruised up from head to toe. That dude was like all wrapped up in bandages and stuff like that though. But thankfully, you know, he should be able to make a full recovery though. Amajiki cracked a bone in his face, and he also had some other little minor injuries. Then we had Fat Gum that had some broken bones, but, you know, that should pretty much all heal though. And thankfully with Rock Lock, he basically, the blade that actually stabbed him, thankfully it missed all any kind of vital organs, so he should be able to make a full recovery though. And we got to see Rotlock reunite with his family once again, and that was a really nice touching moment though. And then last but not least, we had Eri, and she was basically in quarantine, and she was running a very high fever, which she had that high fever the moment after Eraser had managed to stop her quirk from going into overdrive though. But she's basically in quarantine though, because since her powers kind of link with emotion and whatnot though, we had basically almost anybody else in that room with her. Who knows if she will be able to, she might wind up, starting her quirk up again, and the only person that will be able to stop her from going complete out of control again would be only Eraserhead though. So that was the reason why they had to have her in quarantine though. But, just seeing those guys alone and, all the rest of those people, man, it just really showed the bang up state and the sacrifices they had to make in order to win their battles, in order to basically win the whole war, which was basically to save Eri and to put a stop to Overhaul's scheme though. So yeah, that was basically it in terms of the states that, the rest of our heroes were currently in though. Now this is where the heartbreaking moment actually settled in. We got to see All Might and Sir Night-Eye after so many long years, after they put distance between themselves due to some bad relationships in terms of Sir Night-Eye using his quirk and saying that he's not going to support All Might no more because he saw a future where potentially All Might might potentially get himself killed though. And after that they really hadn't been talking to each other at all though. But when they finally do, it is super unfortunate that it had to be on Sir Night-Eye's deathbed, because the doctors basically told everybody and said, hey, we basically did all we could for you, and it doesn't seem like you're going to be able to make it into the next morning though. So they're just kind of calling in everybody to make sure that if you had any other kind of last words that you want to say to Sir Night-Eye, you better do it now, because he doesn't have that much time left potentially in this world though. And it was really sad to see All Might kind of sitting right next to Sir Night, or standing next to Sir Night-Eye, and just taking it all in. He's like, dang, he's like, I was working with this dude for so long. He was a really good sidekick, a really nice hero, and for us to meet under such dire circumstances, I should have said something earlier, I should have done something differently or whatever though. And and then Sir Night-Eye was basically saying, hey, my quirk, even though I thought I saw the future with everything that could potentially transpire within the events that I see, Izuku, you managed to break that, and I don't know exactly how though, but it must have been your motivation and your passion and your drive of you saying, I can't see another outcome of me losing this battle in order to protect the people I need to protect, in order to stop the villains I need to stop, in order to help keep our society safe. It must have been that personal drive that kept you pushing, that basically broke the future that I actually saw, that I thought could actually transpire though. And it was just really kind of heartbreaking to kind of see all this stuff though. But it wasn't just heartbreaking on that first level though. It hit a whole nother level, because then you got to see Mirio was banged up from head to toe. He was barely walking on one leg because his other leg was just wrapped up in bandages, and he just grabs the rails of his bed, and he was like, bro, he's like, Sir Night-Eye, please make it through, because man, I can't do this without you, man. And he was like, and then Sir Night-Eye was basically telling him a lot of different things, and he was saying, even though originally I saw you as a potential suitor for All Might's quirk, One for All, man, I misjudged you on that, because as time has gone on, and as I've been able to see your growth and see your progression in terms of you with your studies and how you dealt with your work study and everything else in between, I'm really proud of you and just the many things that you managed to accomplish. And it was like one last time he actually barely touched the side of Mirio's face, and he said, let me see this future at least one more time. And he told Togeda, everything is going to be all right, and you're going to be a really good hero in the future, and you're going to be one of the best that are out there though. And just seeing that moment right there, and just kind of seeing the relationship between Mirio as well as Sir Night-Eye, it was just really heartbreaking to kind of see all this mess transpire right before everybody's eyes though. But it was in those few final moments where we got to see that heart monitor just slowly inch into a crawl, to where all of a sudden it just went silent. And you could just, it was just dead in that room. You could have heard a pin drop though. And unfortunately, that is where our episode ended though. So overall, I gotta say, this was a great conclusion in terms of their storytelling for this whole entire arc. And, it is a little bit messed up due to the circumstances of, what everybody was beaten up, took a lot of different hits. Tsunade, basically sacrificed his life in order to buy time to be able to protect not only Izuku, but as well as Mirio, as well as Eri during that situation, though, to try to give them a second chance in life in order for them to actually, make it out of there alive to see another day, though. And, it just really kind of put things into perspective with this episode, though. And they definitely managed to hit at least me, and I know a lot of different other people that were watching this anime, definitely within those fields department though. And that is basically all that I have for this anime review today though. I'm even recording this mess, I'm still a little bit shook up, and I'm trying to get a little bit excited though, but it just really kind of hit me because death is honestly it's a hard thing to kind of get over through, and I'm kind of making a connection with my grandpa that I lost earlier on during the fall though. So I'm kind of sorry for getting super emotional though, but yeah, it's a really good thing that My Hero Academia definitely does well, is it definitely knows how to make those connections and actually make a connection not only within just the anime itself, but actually to each and every viewer's lives, or to all the people that have been reading the manga as well though. And that's one of the things I just really like and really appreciate about this anime as a whole though. But that is about it for my reviews though. But let me know down in the comment section down below, what all did you think about this episode? Did you really like it, or was it like super heartbreaking, super depressing, kind of hard to kind of get over it though? But overall, I just thought they did a really good job, and I'm really looking forward to whatever My Hero Academia has next in store for us in terms of the next arc. And one last thing I wanted to say about this anime review is I want to say a huge congratulations and a huge thanks to my friend Sylveon, who has been managing to edit all of my Hero Academia reviews ever since, from the beginning of season 4 when I've been doing these weekly reviews all the way up until now. And I just want to say thank you so much, Sylveon. I'll leave his information down in the description box below where you to kind of find him out on Twitter, see if you want to follow him or whatnot though. But I just want to say thank you for all the work that you have done for us though. And then moving forward, I'm going to, take the helm on this and be able to do pretty much all of the working and all of the editing and everything else that goes into making these reviews. So I just wanted to say thank you, Sylveon, for all the work you have done. But that is all that I have for y'all for this week's episode review over My Hero Academia. So if you really like this video, go ahead and hit that like button, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and that bell to keep up to date on all things My Hero Academia. While the fight with the Shihei Hazakai may be over, the League of Villains is starting to put new plans into motion. While everyone is trying to recover over the loss of Tsunade, a certain wind is starting to blow. And is this the calm before the storm? We'll have to find out about this and more in next week's episode review called Smoldering Flames. So remember y'all, until whatever video I make next, go beyond. Plus Ultra!